Well, this year, all the people around the world celebrate the 460th anniversary of William Shakespeare's birth. That's why we would like to tell you a few things, a few facts about Shakespeare's life. Will you please listen and see?
William Shakespeare. Everyone agrees that William Shakespeare is one of the best writers of plays and poems in the whole wide world. His plays are still being performed in theaters and studied at schools across the globe, even today, 400 years after he died. So what is just great about him? Let's find out.
William Shakespeare was born on the 23rd of April 1564 in Stratford-upon-Avon in England. He was the first son in the family. His mom was a farmer's daughter, and his dad a successful glove maker. Very few boys and girls went to school in those days. Most children had to start working and help their parents make money.
But Shakespeare's father was an important man around town, and the boy was able to go to the local grammar school and learn how to read and write the trade. The schoolmaster taught subjects like history, Greek, and Latin. Teachers were extremely strict in those days. What he really liked most of all was plays, acting, theater, writing.
When he was 18, he got married to Anne Hathaway. She was a farmer's daughter, and they had a daughter called Susanna, and twins called Judith and Hamlet. He had so many ideas in his head. He wrote long poems, short poems called sonnets, 154 of them, and all kinds of plays. He was an actor as well as a playwright, and he had a pretty good idea of how to tell an exciting story on stage.
Soon, he organized a bunch of actors to perform his plays. They got together and put the plays on the stage. Girls weren't allowed to be actors, so all the girl parts were played by boys. They performed most of the plays at the theater that they helped to build. It was called The Glove in London. Well, it was pretty big. Around 3,000 people could fit inside it, and it had an open roof, so when it rained, the standing people got wet. When the performance was on, there was a flag flying on the roof. Richer people would sit in comfy seats in the galleries and get a good view. The rest of the audience stood around the stage, pointing and shouting and chatting and eating and drinking. Look, he's a pickpocket and he's sneaking that man's money.
A few years after they built the Globe, a plague, which was called the Black Death, broke out in London and the theater had to be closed. That is a plague doctor with his big mask going about the town trying to save people. The Black death was a nasty, dangerous part of Shakespeare's life. Red-headed Queen Elizabeth I was on the throne of England. When he was still a teenager, the dashing sailor Francis Drake had sailed all around the world and then fought off the enemy in the Spanish Armada. When Shakespeare was about 40, Queen Elizabeth died and James I became king. He was a thoughtful, educated man, and he loved the theatre and books and reading.
In his lifetime, William Shakespeare wrote 10 plays about great kings, which are known as the history plays. He also wrote 10 plays with unhappy endings, called tragedies. He wrote 18 funny plays called comedies, full of silly characters and stupid jokes, which still make people laugh. And don't forget the 14-line poems known as sonnets, 154 of them in all.
Shakespeare died on his 52nd birthday. Worst birthday ever. 7 years later, a couple of his friends collected together all his plays into a book, which we know as the First Folio.
Shakespeare added more than 1,700 words to the English language. If you ever said good riddance to someone, fair play, or heart of gold, or use the expression love is blind, well, you are using the expressions that Shakespeare wrote more than 400 years ago.
Time hasn't changed the importance of Shakespeare's plays. Inside each one, you will find people with feelings, fears, problems, and hopes that everyone would understand today.
So let's hear it for
William Shakespeare.
Перевести.
Перевести. Bedroom.
Кто спрашивает?
Давайте. Дань.
Кровать и комната.
Итак, все-таки
Комната.
какая комната?
Спальня.
Спальня.
Спальня. Upstairs.
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 Кто знает?
Женя?
Лестница.
Нет.
Нет.
Ага. Вот я вижу Артур.
Артур.
Нет.
Нет.
Так. Ага.
На втором этаже.
На втором этаже, то есть как еще по-другому?
Второй этаж.
Вверх по лестнице, да? Вверх по лестнице.
Наверху.
Мгм.
А как называется это? Что на глазу?
Что на глаз?
Женя,
Ай.
на глазу что?
Ага.
На глазу.
Да, кто еще знает? Ой, спрашивай, быстрее.
Край.
А кто знает, выкрикивайте сразу.
Край. Тир. Тир.
А иначе она
Не
называется у нас
тир.
вот как. Давай.
Айдро.
Айдро.
Birthplace.
Кто знает? А? Говорите сразу, кто знает.
Скворечник, место рождения.
Место рождения. Да? Хорошо.
Fashionable.
Fashionable.
Правильно.
Да. Ага.
Long-legged.
Длинноногий.
Да,
Правильно, Жень?
верно.
Lady Bird.
Говорите сразу. Рефлексируйте.
Сирен.
Да, божья коробка.
Hot-blooded.
Hot-blooded. Конечно.
Горячая кровь.
Ага. Какой?
Вспыльчивый.
Вспыльчивый. Eyeball.
Глазное яблоко.
That's right. Addiction. Пристрастие, да, совершенно верно. Дурная привычка. Окей. From the play Romeo and Juliet. Имейте в виду, что мы ее немножко сократили чуть-чуть, немножко адаптировали. Это, конечно, не совсем то, что было у Шекспира, но просим посмотреть.
Что надо? Дайте пульт. Пульт дайте. Поднимите, пожалуйста, экран.
Romeo and Romeo, where are you?
Where has he gone?
Romeo, why Romeo? Deny your father and refuse your name. Oh, if you will not be what's won my love, and I'll no longer be a Capulet.
Shall I hear more? Or shall I look at this?
This, what's your name? That is my enemy. What's Montague? It's no hands, no foot, no arm, no face, no any other part belonging to a man. Oh, be some other name. And for that name, which is no part of you, take all myself.
I take you at your word.
Oh, Romeo.
Call me but love, and I will be new baptized. And since then, I never will be wrong.
Do you love me? I'll know you say yes, and I will take your word.
Lady, by yonder blessed moon, I swear.
Oh, swear not by the moon, the inconstant moon, with monthly changes and to circle or less that you love.
What shall I swear by?
Don't swear at all. Good night, my Romeo.
Juliet.
I hear some noise within. Dear love, goodbye.
Goodbye,
And what time tomorrow shall I send to you?
at the hour of 9.
I will not fail. These 20 years till then. Goodbye.
My dear,